panel interviews or interrogations, as I call them. And then they're having to do endless assessments. And then if they are one of the lucky people that makes it through all of that and they get a job offer, don't expect to get whatever you talk to the recruiter about in the first call. Companies are intentionally lowballing people and making the most out of this brutal job market. It is terrible.
Job searching in 2025 is not what it used to be. If you're struggling to get an interview, feeling stuck, or getting ghosted, you are not alone. So let's talk about the biggest job seeker struggles right now and how to overcome them. Struggle number 1, too much competition. Everyone is applying to the same jobs. Solution for this is to stop applying blindly. Networking is key. Connect with hiring managers on LinkedIn. Attend job fairs and get referrals. I promise you it works. Struggle number 2. You ever feel like your resume just disappeared into a black hole even if you were the first one to apply? That's the application tracking system at work. To beat them, make your resume reflect the job description and keep your resume format clean and simple. Struggle number 3. Low salary versus high cost of living. With the career level you're at and your experience that you have, it's hard to find a good job with a good pay rate that matches your skill set. The solution I have for you for this is to research the salary trend and negotiate your pay. Most people don't. Always ask for a little bit more than you actually need. All right, let me show you what I mean by that. So let's say you need $28 an hour to pay all your bills and have some saving. Ask for $30. If they say yes, then great. If they say no, then ask them to meet you halfway. Halfway of 30 is 28.5, which means you get to make a little bit more than you actually needed. This also is a great way to help you not get lowballed.
Data analytics is one of the fastest growing jobs in the world right now, but that doesn't change the fact that the job market sucks. So here are some interview hacks that high performers love to gatekeep. That "where do you see yourself in 5 years" question is a trap. They do not care about your career dreams. They care about what their boss thinks of them. What you should say is, "I see myself growing within this organization and taking on new challenges and responsibilities as I learn and progress." Wow, that's someone who's going to get work done that I can rely on. That's what gets you hired. If they ask why you're looking for a new job, you never tell them anything bad about your current boss or company, no matter how toxic it actually is. Just say something like, "I feel I've outgrown my current position and I'm ready to take on new challenges." When they ask you about your hobbies, don't actually go into how your water polo team won the finals or whatever. All they want to know is that you're a well-balanced person. So say something like, "I'm passionate about continuous learning. I like to play insert sport here, and I like to insert leisure activity here." And yes, these can be made up because they have no business asking what you do outside of work. That's irrelevant to the job. The job market is broken, but our bills are very real. So these aren't lies, they're strategic communication in a system that's stacked against workers.
I applied to 627 jobs. Of the 627 that I applied to, I received nearly the same number of rejections. I keep seeing people say they're applying to 150, 200 jobs and they keep getting rejections. Trust me when I say I completely understand. So here are my 6 tips to help you during your job search. The first is obviously going to be networking. Of the jobs that I know that are available right now in my industry, the people that I'm contacting to fill those roles are people that I just happen to know. Whether I've known them for a week, a year, it really doesn't matter. As long as they have the right amount of experience, I'm going to refer them to the role. You can network with people on LinkedIn, but you also should be contacting your old coworkers, your old bosses, asking them if they have any open positions within their organization or if they know of people who are hiring. Secondary connections are...
And that gives the interviewer time to really think and reflect on my resume and our conversation and base like how it went, and for them to ask any last minute questions that may instill a little bit of doubt in me to be able to excel in that role. And hopefully by them asking that question, I'm able to answer it and help them feel more secure of me doing well in this role, right? So I asked that question at the end of every single interview. And this time I asked the question today and the girl goes, I think the only thing that really has me a little bit doubtful about you excelling in this role is really the fact that you don't really have a lot of e-commerce experience. I mean, you said a few, but not as much compared to the other candidates that I have interviewed for. And I know the team is really, really looking for that. And a lot of the candidates have way more experience and are more heavy hitters in that area. But I can definitely tell you're super passionate about paid media. You love marketing and you are so knowledgeable and you're a super smart girl. And that definitely comes off in our conversation that we had today. But like I said, that is really the only thing that I really have a little bit doubt in, that maybe the team will be willing or lenient to look pie or not really pay attention to. But I don't really know. Just compared to the other candidates, I don't really know if you hold up in that standpoint. What? First of all, nowhere in my resume doesn't say I have e-commerce experience. So let's just start there. Nowhere on that job application did I say or check a box that I had e-commerce experience. Nowhere on the actual job description does it say you need e-commerce experience. Paid media is paid media, okay? Like, that's just that. So the fact that you just gave that and then just told me that, like, yeah, all the other candidates that I've interviewed and that I'm about to get on an interview with after your call have significantly way more experience than you in e-commerce. And that's really what we're looking for. But yeah, we'll let you know. Why are you wasting my time then? If you know you're looking for someone in e-commerce and has e-commerce experience, and nowhere on my resume did I put e-commerce experience, nowhere on my application that I did e-commerce experience, nowhere in my screening questions did I add e-commerce experience, nowhere says e-commerce experience, and now you're expecting me to have e-commerce experience? Like, you're just wasting my time. And at this point, I literally got off the interview and said, okay, thank you for your time. Got off the interview and literally said, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Like, I already knew, like, that wasn't the job, or that wasn't the company for me, because I did not say anything about e-commerce experience. And here's the thing. This is not my first time running into something like this. Like, believe it or not, it isn't. Like, there's so many interviews that I've gotten or did, and every single time I ask that question, people always come back with something that I have never even stated on my resume, that's not even on my LinkedIn profile, that's not even on the job description, that isn't even, I don't even know where they're pulling this information from. So it just kind of blows my mind. I'm just like, if you want e-commerce experience, that's 100% fine. You can have your e-commerce experience. I'm not saying that you can't, look for someone with e-commerce experience. But if that's heavily what your team is looking for to build out a certain team or fill a certain role that is missing on that team, is e-commerce experience, why reach out to me if you know I don't have e-commerce experience? Do I have paid media experience? Yes. Do I feel like I'm well versed in paid media? Yes. But e-commerce, not so much. And I can admit that, because that's not my expertise. I do not know that. So please stop wasting my time. Thank you.
I've applied to over 300 jobs in the last month on Instagram, LinkedIn, Indeed, and I've heard back from 10. Just generally am like stressed out with school coming to a close. I'm about to graduate and I haven't found any jobs yet. I've been using like the SideShift app to find side hustles, but obviously I need a full-time job, so I'm running out of options if anyone has any ideas.
Update on the job hunt. So listen, I had a couple of interviews, didn't hear back from two of them. The one job they offered me on the spot, but I asked them for $20 an hour because the ranges was 17 to 24. So nigga said, all right, yeah, I'm gonna send you the offer when you get home. I look at the offer, that nigga lowballed me at 17. I was about to just fucking take it, but I'm like, for $17, where it's at, the fact that I gotta start part-time and I won't have benefits. But this is why everybody's job hunt is unique, because listen, I was going to take the job, but I remember I need benefits. Like, he told me I had to start part-time, and then maybe in 6-7 months, I'd become full-time. Whole time, I need benefits really bad. I had kidney issues earlier this year, and a year and a half ago, I had cardiac arrest. I nearly fucking died. Like, I'd be damned if I'm working, something go bad at the job, and I got to pay out of pocket to take an ambulance. Fuck out of here. But look, we back at it. I'm going to get some. You going to get some. We not going to be unemployed for too much longer. We going to get this money. As long as we trying, that's all we can do. You feel me?
If y'all see me work in retail or customer service, I need you to see me, wave, move on, act like shit sweet. I applied for a biology job. After I got done applying, I scrolled all the way to the bottom. They paid $12. $12 to work in a lab. Another job paid $13, and it was in downtown. You see me in the store, you wave, you say, hey, you move on. Okay.
I don't know if I want to scream or cry or just give up on life right now. I hate the job market. I hate it. You know why? Because why am I competing against people with more experience for the same roles that I should be getting, that all of my skills align with? I am everything they're looking for in terms of skills, in terms of expertise. I even had the experience level that they originally were looking for on the job description. Yet, someone with more experience than I did applied to the same position, and then they got the job. Even though they loved me. They sent me an email back. They were like, we absolutely loved you. And if we could hire both of you, we absolutely would, but we had to choose the one with higher experience. I was passionate about this position. I cared. I actually cared about the cause. And they said, fuck that. Let's go with the person with more experience. I hate it. And this was a low budget marketing manager position at a nonprofit that someone with more experience should not have even been applying to. Why am I competing against that other person with more experience for this? I am so tired of this job market. I am so tired. I've been applying for like a year now to try to find roles that align with my skills, give me the job growth and like career growth that I've been wanting, and also pay what I deserve. Even ChatGPT agrees that I am underpaid for what I bring to the table. I have a master's degree. Why am I stuck in a low-paying job at a company that I'm not passionate about? Like, I'm good at what I do. I graduated top of my class. Top of my class. And then got a master's degree also. I should not be struggling, but I am. And you know what's funny? Just yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was over here thinking, hey, it finally feels like things are aligning for me. It finally feels like, you know what? Things are falling into place. But I was wrong. I was wrong. Every time I get close to getting a job that I really want, that I'm passionate about, and aligns with my skills, and pays what I want, because pay is important. I don't care about the companies that are like, oh, like, pay is not like, that's not what we're here for. No, fuck that, because in this economy, pay is so important, especially when the job market feels so predatory. It feels so predatory right now because they want like 5 to 7 years of experience for like a job that pays entry level. What the fuck is up with that? What the fuck is it? And then why are the people with 5 to 7 years of experience applying to the entry to mid-level jobs? Why? Why am I competing against those people? Like, I'm trying to grow in my career and I can't. And every time I feel like I get close to a job that I really, really want, and I'm like, okay, it's great. They love me and all the skills are aligned. Like, everything is there. And I feel like maybe this is what all the waiting was for. Maybe this is what the universe had in store for me. And then it feels like the rug just gets pulled out from under my feet. I am tired of this shit. I am tired. What the fuck?
Why did I just do an interview?
Was not able to find a job in those areas, or was not able to get a job in those areas. And honestly, during that time, I had to really figure out a game plan of what I'm going to do to not be put in that situation again. So really focusing on like business ventures and things to bring in money outside of working a 9-to-5. That's never really been what I've wanted to do per se, but having what jobs say that they want and them still not hiring you, or if they want to hire you, not willing to pay more than like 16 or 18 an hour. And y'all know that's not enough. That is not a living in today's economy by any means. But it really just showed me even more so. It just emphasized what I already knew, is to develop something for yourself and make it profitable. But it blows my mind every single time. Like, I got these degrees for what? I have this experience for what? I'm working for a contracting company right now. That's what I'm doing. That was nowhere on my board of expertise, but here I am. You know what? You figure out things and you make it work. But yeah, the job market's trash. Has always been trash, I feel like, since I've gotten out of college. But hopefully things will change in that area. But,
Bro, I feel like you have a better chance of finding your dad that left 10 years ago than to find a job in 2025. Like, I swear, bruh, nobody wants to hire me. It's like, why even say y'all are hiring in the first place if y'all won't even take a second to look at my application? Finding a job nowadays is like dating. You're out here shooting your shot by putting in all these applications only for these companies to end up ghosting you. Not even a simple email saying that I wasn't selected. These companies just go completely ghost on you. They out here treating me like I'm some hoe or something. Because tell me why a few months back when I was looking for a new job because my current one wanted to cut my hours like LeVar Ball cutting off his leg type shit. And so when that shit happened, I applied to over 100 jobs and we are now in March. It's been a few months and not a single one ever hit me back. Not even McDonald's, bruh. Ronald McDonald out here hoeing by not giving people jobs. That greedy ass clown. Bro, you know you are cooked when not even McDonald's wants to hire your chopped ass. My advice to the people that are currently employed, please, for the love of God, keep that job that you hate so much. If you are one of those that keeps showing up late for work, you better start coming in at least an hour early. And for the ones that keep calling in for work, I want you to hop in that 1999 Civic with 200k miles on it and go clock into that 9 to 5, little bro. Because I promise you, the way the job market is nowadays, the last thing you want to happen to you is to lose your job.
It is extremely hard to find a job right now. That's why you have to be careful which job you leave on good terms. You can always just call up the boss, the old boss, and hey, do y'all have any openings? Because, a brother need a job real quick. I've been looking for a job since like the end of last year. And of course I didn't have like much luck. So of course, sometimes I probably have to do a little bit of Uber, a little bit of DoorDash just to get some money in my pocket. But finding a job, a real job, is literally hard to do right now. I don't care about going back to a 9 to 5 because my life has changed over the course of months. So I got to do what I got to do. I got to handle my responsibilities. My dreams will never die. But I need somebody to either call me back, or when I call y'all, can y'all pick up the phone? And then when I send an email, can you at least send me a follow-up letting me know why I didn't get the position, or at least the position has been filled or something? Like, be considerate. Like, come on now. Like, I'm looking for a job. Y'all need people because, of course, on Indeed, it says we are looking for people to hire. So if you're looking for people to hire, but you're not hiring nobody, or you're not calling nobody, or you're not picking up the phone, why do you have that application up? Like, what's the point of having an opening if you're not going to at least give somebody an introduction interview? Like, what's going on? Let me know. Am I the only one struggling to find a job right now?
If you want to know how bad the job market is in 2025, today I had a job interview for a retail sales associate position at a pool store. It's not fucking rocket science. I'm selling pools. I'm selling jacuzzis. I'm reading chemicals in a little machine. I thought, I'm pretty capable of that. Okay, cool. The message I get is, are you available Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m.? I reply with, yes, I am available Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m. The response to that was, great, thanks. Okay? So if you were going to have an interview, where would you go to have this interview? To the location of the pool store where you'd be working? Wrong. Well, today, when I went to the location of the pool store where I thought I'd be working, I walked in and they said to me, no one will be giving you an interview today. I'm not a manager. This guy next to me is not a manager. And our manager will not be back into this building until Thursday. I say, okay, that's fine. That's okay. I have not been trembling in anxiety for the past 4 hours anticipating this interview. Have a great day. I walk my cute little ass out of that pool store and into the Japanese market across the street. I walk around. I browse the Bulldog ramen and I think to myself, let me message this fucking pool company. Because what? Yeah, they reply with, should have came to address. What? How? No one. Right. In the message, it just said, are you available March 25th? And then on the application, on 2 separate places, it has the address of the location that I just came. Yeah, you're right. So then I replied with, oh, would you still like me to come today for that interview? Within seconds, if we're being honest. It wasn't even a minute. I was staring directly at my phone for upwards of 20 minutes in my car waiting for someone to reply. Nothing. No response. I waited until 1:20. And then I was like, I need to go home and get ready for the job that I already have. And I know you're thinking, in your big boomer brain, well, he gave you the address. You should go to that interview and show them that you are capable of doing something like this. I don't want to run around town for a company that's not even paying me yet. For a retail sales associate position at a pool store. I don't want to have to magically conjure up
spells in my mind to figure out where the fucking location of my interview is going to be. I don't want to have to be a psychic. I don't want to have to throw dice on a fucking table and then talk to some spirits to figure out where the location of my interview is going to be. Sending me the location of my interview 2 minutes after the interview takes place? 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after the interview is supposed to be taking place, I'm sitting in the parking lot of where I thought I'd be working. But no. I'm in my bed, getting ready to go to work. A different kind of job. Seafood. I just love water. That's something about me. Can't get away from that water. That's that cancer in me. Not like actual cancer, just like like the zodiac. I'm having a bad week. I'm having a really, really bad week.